Can you not? And then sit up as tall as you have all day. Notice how the palms rest on your lap. Bring them face down or face up. Anything that feels comfortable for you here. And then just start to let go of the morning, the day, the afternoon. It's already happening. Everything that'll happen after class hasn't happened yet. So just focus on the current moment in time. 4 corners of your mat, and just allow yourself to arrive. So I'm just asking you to turn on your yoga brain and let go of everything that's already happened. And then as you sit up really, really tall, just take a full body scan from the crown of your head all the way up through the tips of your toes. And just start to notice any points that feel sore, that feel tight, not so open. And send a little extra breath there throughout your practice. And then as you sit up really, really tall, just allow the seat to be really heavy. So feel the pelvis, the sit bones, those start to root down. And then as you feel the navel draw up and in towards your spine, feel the low belly tone up. Allow the ground to press back up into your seat so you feel firmly supported. Can you start to visualize your breath permeating the spaces in between each vertebra so that you sit up that much taller? And allow both sides of the waist to grow really, really long, all the way up towards the ceiling, the sky. And just notice any unconscious tension through the shoulder girdle. Notice if they're starting to hunch forward ever so slightly. Can you begin to shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, then slide them back, then bring them down, almost as if you wanted to pinch this pencil in between your shoulder blades. So to visualize your collarbones expanding from left, right, left a few times. And heart passively floats up towards the ceiling. And allow those shoulders to stack over the hips by sliding the base of your skull back just a bit. And start to notice the breath. See what the quality of it is like. Just feel the expansion and contraction of your rib cage as the lungs inflate and deflate. However the breath might be, fast, smooth, shallow, none of the above, somewhere in between. We'll sync up the breath cadence together. To start on a fresh page, take a deep exhale, empty out all the air. And 3 deep full rounds. Take a big inhale, fill it from the very, very base of your belly. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. 2 more just like this. Deep inhale into your lungs, expand the rib cage. And then open mouth, exhale. Really nice. 1 more big inhale into the chest, collarbones, head. And open mouth, exhale. And place 1 palm to your heart, 1 palm to your belly. And as you do this, take a moment, find gratitude for your beating heart underneath your palm, how the belly rises and falls with each inhalation, each exhalation. So for this current moment in time, I find gratitude for your health and your body, ability to move, to be in this practice, to participate. And then after you do that, set an intention for practice. So think about what it is that motivated you to take time in your day to be here in your body. At the same time, acknowledge whatever it is that you're needing, wanting, expecting out of this practice. And then allow this practice to be of supportive service to you. And so anything that doesn't feel right, just let that go. If you need a little more challenge, just allow yourself to do that as well. But just overall, allow this practice to be of supportive service to you. And use those things to shape your intention, whether this be a thought, phrase, word, feeling, action, or dedication. Allow your intention alongside your breath to guide your practice. And as it feels authentic to you, both palms towards heart center, undulate will draw your heart seal. Draw your intention towards the top of your mind, and we'll share our collective intentions together through 1 more round of breath. Take a smooth inhale. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. And when you feel ready, allow the palms to release, eyes blink open. So I'll orient myself so that you can see what I'm doing. But with both feet, bring them super wide, or rather bring them as wide as your mat, and then allow the knees to kind of knock in. Once you allow the knees to knock in, allow both knees to fall over towards the left. So you're kind of creating two number 7s, two L shapes. Yeah, you got it, Nico. Beautiful. From here, reach your arms all the way up and overhead, lengthen along the spinal column. And then on your exhale, begin to twist on over towards your right. Nice. So the finger pads might reach, they might not. If they're not reaching, kind of like me, I'm a really small person, you can just prop your back hand behind your hip and then use your opposite hand to just kind of hold onto your thigh. Yeah, beautiful. You got it. Nice. So as you press the ground away from you, you're twisting away from your left knee. See if you can bring your right shoulder back a little further, and if it's cool with your neck, you'll gaze past the right. You just take one more big breath, and then make your way back towards center. Really nice. This time we'll go the opposite direction. So walk your hands by your left hip. So my back will be facing you. And then once more, feel a little more spinal rotation. So as you crawl your hands towards your left hip, you can either choose to keep your hands by your left hip, or if you need a little more intensity, walk them a little further towards the left. So you can stay up onto your palms, or if you have the range of motion and it's okay with your spine, you can lower down to your forearms. Just feel the belly expand and contract. Take one more big breath. Visualize the breath through the spaces between each vertebra. And when you feel ready, come back towards center. And then we'll switch. So both feet out super wide still, your knees are knocking in, and then both knees cascade over to the right. Okay. Once more, you'll sit up really, really tall. Arms extend all the way up. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. So two number 7s to the right. Yeah. Arms extend all the way up. So lengthen. And then this time you'll twist to your left. So left hand behind your left hip. And then right palm can come towards the ground. You're kind of small. Your right hand will kind of hold your left thigh. And then as you press the ground away from you, feel elongation of the spinal column. So notice if the low back is rounding. Press the ground away from you actively. And you're using your right hand kind of as leverage to pull your chest forward and back at the same time. So left shoulder draws back. Take one more smooth breath. And then make your way back towards center. Okay, so this time, both hands towards the outside of your outer right hip. So we're just going the opposite direction. And as you crawl your hands towards the right hip, just notice how this feels. You can stay here or continue to walk your hands a little closer towards the right. And then the same options exist here as they did on the other side. So you can stay lifted up onto your palms, or you can lower down to forearms. If you happen to have a book or a yoga block, you can also use that as well underneath the forearms. We'll just allow the chest to be really, really heavy as you feel the spinal rotation. So there's just a lot of decompressing and creating space through the spinal column. And take two more big breaths. Nice. And then when you feel ready, rise all the way back up. Nice. All right, go ahead and extend both legs out long in front of you. So Dandasana, your staff pose, sit up really, really tall. Beautiful. Bend your right knee, sole towards your groin. It doesn't have to be super, super close, but as close as you can get it. And then either foot stays here, or if it feels okay, right foot to the outside of your left thigh. You'll take your right hand, place it behind your right hip, so go ahead and face you. And then reach your left arm all the way up. As you reach your left arm all the way up, same thing, create that length. Two options here. One, you're either hugging your shin, or two, you're placing your tricep to the inside of your right thigh, using that as leverage. So you're either hugging your shin close to you or you're using your tricep, pressing that away from you. So as you twist here, think about really, really long spinal column. So once more, notice that the low back is rounding. I want you to actively press the ground away from you so the chest stays open, right shoulder back. So one more breath here. And then make your way back towards center. Release the right leg, and then we'll switch. So bend your left knee, sole towards your groin, and then stay here if this works for you, or left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Left hand behind your left hip, press the ground away from you, right arm reaches and create that length. And then two options, hug your shin or tricep to the inside of your right thigh. Yeah, beautiful. Feel the crown of your head lift and actively press the ground away. And then gaze past the left shoulder if it's cool with your neck as you feel the left shoulder draw a little further back. Let's take one more deep full rounds of breath. Beautiful. Make your way back towards center. And then slowly release the left leg. Beautiful. From here, bend both knees, hands behind your hips. Support the low back, so press the ground away from you. Take your right ankle, hook it up and over your left thigh. So seated figure four. Yep. As you come to the seated figure four, feel as if your left thigh were kind of like a lever. And then you're using your right ankle kind of as leverage, so you're pressing that, allowing the right knee to track down. So you should feel the outer right hip. You can adjust the intensity of this. So the further away your left heel is from your left sit bone, it'll be a little less intense. Alternatively, you can draw the heel a little closer. So that way your thigh, your shin is a little closer to you. So this is the same thing that you would do if you were on your back, like this, and then pressing your hand into your knee. So you're just taking this at a different leverage. We'll undo that, and then we'll switch sides. Left ankle up and over your right thigh. Again, keep the low back supported, press the ground away from you. And then same thing, I want you to press your ankle into your right thigh so much that the left knee naturally tracks down. Keep the spinal column long, chest lifted. Nice. And then same thing, you can adjust your right foot further away or closer to your right sit bone. Nice, one more breath. And then slowly undo it. Really nice. Both legs out, arm long in front of you. Any amount of bend into your knees, especially if you're working with tighter hamstrings. Arms extend all the way up and overhead. Beautiful. Exhale, fold forward, Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. So the goal here is not to touch your feet. The goal here is to lengthen through the backs of the legs, keeping the spinal column long. So notice if the low back is rounding and the upper back is rounding a whole lot, bend into your knees, and then feel the chest move forward and down. Take one more big breath. We'll rise all the way back up, vertebra by vertebra. And swing your legs out to one side, and then we'll come to all fours, tabletop position. All right, so not so much cow-cats, more like scapular depression and elevation. So instead of moving your pelvis with you like you would in cow-cat, keep it neutral. I want you to drop your chest down. So the shoulders will come towards your ears. And then press the ground away from you. Feel the shoulder blades separate, almost as if you're in a cat pose, but keep the pelvis still. Yeah. We'll do this a few more times. Allow the chest to drop, keep your arms straight. And then press the ground away from you, upper back puff, shoulder blades far, far away. So getting into that tightness through the upper back. Allow the shoulders to drop down. And then press the ground away from you. Okay, so just a few more times, keeping the pelvis fixed. So you can also think about this as if I were standing up, I'm kind of presenting you with a block and then sucking my arms back in towards my shoulder socket. So nothing through my hips, my torso really moves except for my upper body. So we're just trying to isolate that. Yeah, really, really nice, you guys. Beautiful. Let's do two more here. Yes. All right, neutral tabletop as you're ready. Press down through your right palm and then reach the left fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. So open up through your chest. Let this be nice and lazy. And then on your exhale, you'll thread the needle. So draw the left palm all the way underneath. Rest your left ear to the mat. If your head is a little far away, then grab a book or something that you can support your head with so that your neck isn't stressed out. And then at the same time, squeeze through the inner thighs ever so slightly. Dig the tops of your feet down, your shins down. And once more, feel the upper back open up. You have a practice of a half bind. You can take your right hand either to your low back, or perhaps it nestles all the way in towards the right hip crease. Wherever you are, you got one more smooth round of breath. So if you've got the half bind, undo it. Everyone press down through your right palm. Reach the left fingertips all the way back up towards the ceiling. So once more, I want the chest nice and open. Keep the left palm up. Take a few wrist circles one direction and then the other direction. Release. Keep your left palm reaching. So I'll face you. Bring your right ankle all the way out towards the edge of your mat or off of your mat, and then scoot your right palm forward so your wrist is past your shoulder. And then peel your entire body open, left leg to the back of your mat, so you'll come into a supported side plank. From here in the supported side plank, press the ground away from you so you feel the rib cage, the right rib cage lift. Stay here or begin to lift your left leg. As you lift your left leg, perhaps you make leg circles, so getting into the outer left hip, left glute here. And then circles the other direction. Beautiful. One more breath. And then make your way back towards center. Left palm down, left knee down, come back to all fours. Okay. And then we'll do the other side. So press down through your left palm, reach the right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Let this be heavy. Lean the right shoulder back, head back. Then exhale, thread the needle. Draw your right palm underneath your left rib cage. Rest your right ear either to the mat, to a block, or book, blanket, that works too. And same thing, as you send your sit bones up, kind of visualize that a downward facing dog. Then press through the knees, tops of your feet, shins. If you did so other side, you'll take your left hand to a half bind, hand either to the low back, or you can nestle it in towards the right hip crease. Yeah, beautiful. But all of these are options, not necessities. It's one more big breath here. Really nice. If you have your arms snaked around, release the half bind. Everyone press down through your left palm and then reach the right fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling once more. So get into your wrist, few wrist circles, one direction, and then the other direction. Now keep your right palm reaching up. Look at your left hand, scoot the left palm forward a bit, and then left ankle off of your mat, angle it out. Peel your entire body open towards the right. Start on the supported side plank, right foot towards the back of the mat. So I want your obliques to work. So lift up through the left rib cage, press the ground away from you. Option to stay here or lift the right leg. If you're lifting the right leg, circles one direction, keeping the front ribs in, belly in, and then switching directions, so kind of lubricating through the right hip. Really nice. Last breath. And then come back to all fours, your tabletop. Nice. All right, now we'll move into some cow-cat to get into the spine. So inhale for cow pose, drop your belly, raise your gaze. And then exhale, cat pose. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Navel up and in. Actively press the ground away from you. Inhale for cow. And then exhale, cat. Just a few more rounds like this. Beautiful. Let's do about 2 more here. So notice how this was slightly different from what we did before. You have your pelvis tilting, and that allows the spine to move with it. And then make your way to a neutral tabletop. Now from here, I want you to walk your hands a really, really far step forward. And then you'll drop your forehead, your head down to the mat.
And then allow the arms to lengthen forward. Feel your chest really heavy dropping down too. So Anahatasana puppy pose. You might have to scoot your knees back a little bit, but just opening up through the chest, the sides of the waist. One more big breath here. And then walk your hands underneath your shoulders first, press the ground away from you, lift your head. Then hands forward a bit, tuck your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So once in your down dog, I always like to take a few moments to bend one knee, bend the other, press the ground away from me, feel the upper back kind of open up as I press the ground away, driving my chest towards my thighs. Take one more breath just to do whatever feels good in your down dog. And then coming to stillness, just take a peek at your feet. They're about hip width distance-ish, hands about shoulder width distance-ish. You know you're working with tight shoulders. And orient your fingers so that the index, the middle are pointing more towards the corners of your mat. And then any amount of bend into your knees that you need to do, go for that. So think about creating a V shape through the legs and the torso. Nice, go ahead and glide forward towards a high plank. Allow the shoulders to stack over the wrists. Actively press the ground away from you. So upper back puffs. You did this on all fours, same concept. Exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll do two more like this. Inhale, glide forward, crown of the head reaches forward, press the ground away from you. And then exhale, draw the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice, one more please. Inhale, glide forward, crown of the head reaches forward. Nice, this time I want you to lower your knees, come all the way down to your belly. So we'll get into the chest. So bring your arms up to a cactus shape. And then look at your right elbow. Scoot your right elbow. Scoot your right elbow so that the elbow is a little higher than the shoulder here. And then tent up through your left fingertips. And then just start to roll onto your right hip. Nice. As you roll onto your right hip, just notice if you're starting to roll onto your arm. Keep your elbow fixed where it is, just above the shoulder. And then, yeah, you'll roll onto the outer right hip. If you have a little more range of motion through the chest, it's pretty open, then you can bring your left foot back behind you. But just be reasonable with yourself. We're just getting into the pecs, the front of the chest, the front of the shoulder. You might not even be lifting a whole lot, just tenting up through the fingertips, and that's totally fine too. And then exhale, slowly come all the way onto your belly, and then we'll switch. Yeah. We'll cactus through the left elbow, and then look at your left shoulder, rather your left elbow in space. Just scoot it above the shoulder. Now, once more, you're not rolling onto your bicep because this isn't going to do anything. Just keep the elbow fixed. Tent up through the right fingertips and then shift weight over towards your left hip. So lift the right hip any amount. So you might already starting to feel it here. The other side is a little more open. Head can be on the ground. It doesn't have to stay up here. And once more, if you have a little more range of motion, then the right leg can come back behind you. But not happening for me here. We'll take one more big breath. And then make your way back towards center. Nice. From your belly, make your way towards a cobra pose. So palms underneath the shoulders. Dig through the tops of your feet. Use the inhale breath to lift just your chest. A little to no weight in your hands. You're not coming up super, super high. Perhaps the palms float, but have the action that you're dragging your palms towards your ribs and then the ribs forward. It's one more breath here. And then slowly undo it. Sweep your palms back behind you, Shalabhasana locust. Inhale, lift the arms, chest, legs. So everything that'll lift off of the mat that will lift is flying. And then squeeze everything tightly towards the center. One more breath. And then slowly release that. Let's begin to slide your palms to your shoulders, tuck your toes. And then press up either to a tabletop or plank. Hips up and back, come into a downward facing dog. Nice. Big inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. Awesome. Draw the right leg up and back in space. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Tent up through the fingertips, look forward with a long spine. Shoulder heads pull back slightly. Then exhale, bend at your left knee, tap it down. Yeah. 2 more just like this. Straighten through the left leg. And then exhale, bend at your left knee, tap it down. Beautiful. 1 more, straighten through the left leg. And then exhale, bend and tap. Nice, this time straighten through the left leg. Shift your hips up and back so you straighten through the right to the best of your ability. From here, shorten your stance, so walk the left foot in and then ground down flat through the foot. Toes will turn out to about 10, 11-ish o'clock. And then as you are here, feel the sensation behind the back of your right leg. So you might not even be hinging a whole lot, especially if you know the backs of your legs are tight or you've got tight hips. You can lightly rest your palms onto your shin. If you have a block or like a water bottle available to you, you can use that as support to keep the spinal column long. Beautiful. Take 1 more breath here. And then go ahead and re-bend through the right knee, hands flat to the mat. Step back to a downward facing dog. We'll switch sides, left leg extends up. And then exhale, draw your foot in between your hands. Tent up through your fingertips, gaze forward. And then exhale, bend at your right knee, tap it down. Nice, 2 more times, straighten through the right leg. And then exhale, bend and tap. Nice, 1 more, straighten through the right leg. And then exhale, bend and tap. This time as you straighten through the right leg, shift the hips up and then back. Allow the left leg to straighten to the best of your ability. You'll walk your right foot in, turn the toes out to 2-ish o'clock, ground down flat through your right heel. So if the heel is lifted at all, just shorten your stance. So one side might be a little shorter than the other, and that's totally fine. You're either tenting up through your fingertips, you're supporting yourself with like a water bottle or a book underneath, or hands are lightly resting onto your shin. And so if you notice the low back rounding a whole lot, just give yourself a little more support, come up a little higher. Nice. Feel as if you're dragging your left heel towards the back of the mat. Last breath here. Beautiful. Go ahead and re-bend through the left knee, hands flat to the mat. Then step back, downward facing dog. You will take a big inhale breath and smooth exhale breath. All right, inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands, come to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Start off with a few half salutations. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. Really nice. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen, hands to your shins, thighs, upper back engaged. Then exhale, fold forward. Once more, inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing scoop. Then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, hands flat to the mat, step back, high plank. Nice, big inhale, breath, hold your plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Like we did before, Cobra Bhujangasana. Lift just your chest, so you got a little to no weight in your hands. You're using your upper back, low back, mid back, glutes. Dig your pelvis into the mat. And then exhale, slowly release. Sweep the palms back behind you. Lift your arms, chest, legs. Feel the entire back body turn on. And then feel the chest broad. Nice. Last breath. And then slowly release. Palms near your shoulders, tuck your toes. Use the inhale breath to press up to a tabletop or plank. Shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. A smooth inhale breath. Smooth exhale breath. Awesome. Inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands, top of your mat. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. You got it. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, hands flat, step back, high plank. Nice big inhale breath, hold your plank once more. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. All right, this time you set up first a Sphinx pose. So if you recall those sphinxes in Egypt, that's the shape you're recreating. Yeah. So palms flat, gaze forward, chest open. So we're going for a modified forearm plank to start. So you'll just come to your knees. Take a big inhale, breath, gaze forward. And then on your exhale, curl your chin in towards your chest, vertebra by vertebra. Feel the belly lift, rib cage lift, hips lift, thighs lift. Come to your knees. And then cinch everything towards the center. Press through the elbows, forearms, upward back engage. Stay here or tuck your toes, lift your knees, shins, forearm plank. Now take one more big breath. And then lower, knees, thighs, hips. Come back to your Sphinx. You guessed it, we'll do this one more time. Big inhale, breath, gaze forward. And then exhale, curl your chin in toward your chest. I'll give you the choice on where you want it to go, either your knees or tuck your toes. Lift the knees, the shins, forearm plank. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then with control, lower knees, thighs, hips, return back to your Sphinx. Deep inhale breath, so feel the back bend. And then exhale, lower all the way down, transition back to your downward facing dog. So press up either to a tabletop or plank. Then hips up and back, meet us when you're ready. Smooth inhale breath, fill it up. Smooth exhale breath, let it go. Sorry, gaze forward on your inhale breath. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands, come to the top. Nice halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Go through lunging salutations. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. Beautiful. Exhale, full palms towards your heart center, my apologies. And then release your hands to your sides to Tadasana, mountain pose. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Nice. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. Beautiful. Exhale, hands flat, step your right foot back, and then lower your right knee down. Nice. Inhale, low lunge. Arms extend all the way up. So the entire time you're doing these lunges, visualize you're wearing a jacket that's 2 sizes too small. You're trying to zip that up from the pubic bone all the way up to your sternum. And then notice if you're back bending, front ribs draw in. Reach. Really nice. Please draw your left hand towards your left hip. Now lengthen through the right side of your waist. Take a side bend to your left. So as you dig down through your right shin, feel the entire right side body get a big old stretch. So from the knee all the way up through the right ring finger. One more breath here. And then make your way back towards center, left palm reaches. And then exhale, hands flat to the mat. Step back to a high plank this time. Beautiful. All these vinyasas are optional. You can always choose to skip them. Otherwise, shift forward, shoulders past your wrists. And then exhale, bend your elbows halfway or lower all the way down. Use the full inhale in your back bend, up dog, cobra, or locust. Exhale, shift the hips up and back. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. All right, inhale, right leg extends. This time I want you to stack your hips. So peel the right hip all the way up towards the ceiling. Right leg can stay straight, or you can bend your right knee heel towards your glute, whatever feels better. Beautiful. All right, level out your hips, right leg up and back. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Soften the left knee down. Nice. Inhale, low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana, arms reach. So continue to keep the low belly engaged, pubic bone lifts. Beautiful. One more. And this time I want you to float both hands to the inside of your right foot. So as you do this, scoot the right foot forward and out, so toes will turn out to about, we'll call this 2 o'clock once more. Excuse me. And then you'll shift your hips back. Straighten through the right leg. So visualize half splits, but your right leg is just out to an angle. Tent up through your fingertips. And then feel the right heel pull towards the left knee, and then the left knee forward towards the top of your mat. As you are here, keep a really, really long spine. And then stay here if this works for you. There's plenty of sensation going on through the back of your leg. Alternatively, you'll externally rotate at the right hip. Drive the baby toe edge of your right foot down. So I'll just show you from this direction. So instead of the ball mound facing up, you'll more or less face towards the ground. So the knife edge of your foot. But again, these are all options. One more big breath wherever you are. Beautiful. If you have your foot rotated, bring it back towards center. And go ahead and slide your right foot back, rebend through the right knee. Listen. Go ahead and tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. And then step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. From here, bring your hands to your shins just above your ankles. And then I want you to dig your forearms into your shins, your knees, so kind of press those out. Shift the hips back and down. If you have a little more range of motion, you might be able to find Malasana, but that is not, or Malasana, which is like a garland or yogi squat, but I do not expect that. So you can stay up as high as you'd like, just kind of getting into the inner hips, the groins. Yeah, beautiful. So if this is around, fabulous. Otherwise, you're staying up really high. Yeah. One more breath. Beautiful. Go ahead and release your hands to the mat, lift your hips, and then heel toe your feet back about hip width distance apart. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen, and then exhale, fold forward. Other side. Inhale, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, upward facing salute. Really nice, you guys. Palms towards your heart, release your hands to your sides, mountain. Nice. Inhale, arms extend all the way up, gaze up. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, look forward, lengthen. And then exhale, hands flat, step your left foot back, lower your left knee down. Inhale, low lunge, Ardha Anjaneyasana, arms reach and extend, lift up and out of your waist. This time, you'll set your right hand to your right hip, lengthen through the left, and then tip on over towards your right. Nice. So same thing that you felt on the other side. You got one big old stretch from your left knee all the way out through the left ring finger, left middle finger, and then you're inflating through the left lung so you feel the expansion of the left side body. Beautiful. One more big breath. Awesome. Right palm extends all the way up, back to center. And then hands frame your right foot, step back, high plank. From your high plank, optional vinyasa, you can shift forward, either bend your elbows halfway or lower all the way down to the ground. You've got up dog, cobra, or locust. And then exhale, draw the hips up and back, find a downward facing dog. All right, left leg extends up and back. This time you'll peel the left hip all the way up towards the ceiling, the sky. So once more, left leg can stay extended, or you can bend at the left knee, heel towards your glute. Beautiful. All right, level out your hips, left leg up and back. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands, lower the right knee down. Wonderful. Inhale, low lunge, arms extend all the way up towards the ceiling, press through both feet. Rather, press through the left foot, right shin. Nice, and then float both hands to the inside of your left foot this time. So you'll wiggle your left foot forward and out, toes will turn out to about 10-ish, 11-ish o'clock. Shift your hips back. You might have to wiggle the left heel forward. And see that the right hip is roughly over the right knee. So you're not kind of sitting back on your heel like this. You're also not super extended because you don't want anybody to hurt their groin. Tent up through the finger pads. And then feel both sides of the waist really long. And feel as if you're dragging your left heel towards the right knee and then the right knee forward towards the top of the mat. You did so other side, you'll rotate at your left hip. So drive the baby toe edge of your left foot down towards the ground. You'll feel a little more through the outer left hip. Nice. Take one more breath.
All right, if you have your foot rotated, bring it back towards center. Nice. Go ahead and slide your left foot back, rebend through the left knee. Like we did on the other side, tuck your right toes with your right knee, and then hop your right foot to the outside of your right palm. Hands to the shins, the ankles, and press your forearms into your shins, bringing the knees out. Either hang out really high up here, or if you have the range of motion, you can allow the hips to come a little further down, so you've got Malasana. Squat. And think about wherever you are, if you're really high up here, or whether you're low down here, knees are drawing up and back, so more weight is into the baby toe edges of your feet, so you feel the inner hips. Beautiful. One more breath. And then hands flat to the mat, lift your hips. Heel toe your feet back towards center. Halfway lift, long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Okay, sit down low, find your chair pose. So not all the way down. It's like you're drawing your seat into an imaginary chair. Arms extend all the way up. As you're here, see that you can see all 10 toes past your knees, so a good majority of your weight should be in your heels. And like we did before, right hand, right hip. Lengthen through the left, tip on over to your right. Really nice. As you create this length, go ahead and bend at your left elbow. Hook it to the outside of your right thigh and allow the right palm to join the left, so you're coming into a chair twist. If this doesn't feel comfortable, then the elbow can always come in between the knees. If there's anything going on with the low back or anything like that, you can also stay upright. Arms reach out. But use your left elbow as a hook. Draw the right shoulder up and back. And then on your exhale, gently release, hands to the mat, fold forward. Next, find a halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, deepen the fold. All right, other side. Drop your seat into an imaginary chair, arms extend up. So chest nice and open. You'll take your left hand to your left hip, lengthen through the right, tip on over to your left. So it's like bumping your right hip all the way over. You're creating that side body length once more. And then when you're ready, bend your right elbow, hook it to the outside of your left thigh. Left palm joins on top, find your twist. So once more, when we twisted in the beginning of the class, think about the spinal column, how long that is. Crown of the head reaches forward and up, seat down, right elbow hooking the left thigh, drawing the left shoulder a little further back. Take one more deep breath, and then gently release, hands to the mat. Nice. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, hands flat. You have a vinyasa here if you would like, or just step back to a downward facing dog. Full inhale into your back bend. And full exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. So once you're in your downward facing dog, let's take a few moments, register your body, notice how that feels. See where the breath is at. I'm starting to get hot. I don't know about you guys. One more deep breath here. Really nice. All right. Go ahead and draw the right leg up and back in space. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. Okay, so this time you'll rise up to a high lunge, a crescent lunge. So Anjaneyasana. Use your low belly strength, lift your torso, arms extend all the way up and overhead. Really nice. So left heel is lifted. Feel as if it's stacked directly over your left toes. And then sink down low through the right knee. Really nice. Once more, reach your arms out forward in front of you, kind of like you're holding a block or something like this. So we did this on all fours, same concept, just getting into the upper back. Reach your arms forward in front of you. Keep your shoulders fixed over your hips so your torso isn't moving, yeah? And then exhale, suck your arms back in towards your shoulder sockets. Beautiful. One more, arms reach forward. Upper back broadens. And then bring your arms, suck them back in towards your shoulder sockets. Beautiful. Nice. This time your torso will move with you. Reach forward, reach forward, reach forward until you can't anymore. Come really high up onto your left toes. Stay here or squeeze your left glute, lift your left leg. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Hands can always come towards your hips. Heart center, sweep them back. You have options.
Really nice. Keep the chest nice and broad. Feel the left hip drop just a bit. With control, go ahead and bring your left palm down to the mat. Option 1, right hand to the low back. Option 2, right palm extends all the way up. So your left leg is still lifted. Now take one more big breath here. Really nice. Just go ahead and bring your left foot towards the back of your mat. Press the ground away from you. You got one more twist. Right shoulder back. Right palm continues to reach up. And then exhale, right palm down, step back. Optional vinyasa or hips up and back. Straight to a down dog is always cool. Yeah. Full inhale into your back bend. Full exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale, breath, fill it up. And smooth exhale, breath, let it go. The other side, left leg up and back behind you. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. And squeeze through the inner thighs, low belly. Lift your torso, high lunge, crescent lunge. Really nice. So if you feel a little wobbly, you can just scoot the left foot a little further out. And once more, you're fully extending through the right hip. So right heel is pressing against an imaginary wall. Yeah, really nice. Go ahead and reach your arms forward like you're holding a block or a box in front of you. And then once more, keep the torso fixed so you're not moving it just yet. Reach the arms out far, far, far forward as far as you can. And then suck your arms back in towards your shoulder sockets. Really nice. One more just like this. Reach the arms forward. And then draw your arms back in. Nice. This time torso moves with you. Reach forward, lean forward about 45. So you come really high up onto your right toes. You have the option to stay here or launch off the right leg. And then once more, hands can come back, heart center to your hips. And then everyone drop the right hip just a bit. Beautiful. Last big breath, chest stays open. And then right palm down to the mat. Reach your left fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Yeah, so revolved half moon. Really nice. You got it, you got it, you got it. Stay with this last breath. And then set your right foot towards the back of your mat. Flatten down through the right palm. One more twist. Left palm reaches up. Lean the base of your skull back. Left shoulder back. Beautiful. Left palm down. Step back. Vinyasa or straight to down dog. Nice. Up dog, cobra, locust. Exhale, draw the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Smooth inhale, breath, fill it up. And smooth exhale, breath, let it go. One more big inhale. And smooth exhale. Beautiful. Draw the right leg up and back in space. And then exhale, step your foot in between your hands. This time, turning around your left foot flat. So back foot is at least parallel or slightly turned into the back of your mat. Lift your arms, lift your torso, arms extended all the way up and out like wings, warrior two. Nice. So go ahead and take a peek at your stance. See that the feet are nice and wide, so wrists roughly over each ankle. And then sink down low through the right knee. Really nice. Go ahead and interlace your hands behind your low back. So you interlace your hands behind your low back, draw the shoulders up, down, and back. And I want you to scoot your hands towards your left hip. So go ahead and face you so that you see. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Then from here, maintain your legs. Excuse me, and then allow the left ear to drop towards the left shoulder. So you're getting into the right side of your neck. Continue to maintain this shape. And then notice if it's more or less the left shoulder hiking up to meet the left ear, draw the left shoulder down and back so you can continue to open up through the right side of your neck. Let's take one more big breath. And then make your way back towards center. Beautiful. And then slowly straighten through the right leg. Reach forward until you can't anymore. Excuse me. And then right palm to your shin, to the ground if that feels accessible. And then instead of reaching your left palm up, I want you to reach it forward. So create one big old side body stretch. Nice. Be light with your right palm wherever it rests. Nice. One more deep breath. Reach, reach, reach forward. And then slowly rotate your torso, hands frame your right foot, step back. Optional vinyasa or skip it, go straight to downward facing dog. Those of you doing the vinyasa, full inhale in your back bend. And then full exhale, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Excuse me. Deep inhale breath. And smooth exhale breath. Nice. Go ahead and draw the left leg up and back behind you. And then exhale, draw your foot in between your hands. Nice. Turn down your right foot flat. Once more, rise up, warrior two. Nice. So once more, take a peek at your alignment, see that it's nice and wide. And then see that pelvis is neutral, so there's a tendency for the left hip to kind of dump down. Squeeze through the outer hips. Once more, interlace your hands. Take the unusual grip, so it's probably left thumb that will be on top. Draw the shoulders up, down, and back. And then nestle your hands towards the right hip or as close to the right hip as you can. Tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. So you're getting into the left side of your neck. Notice if you're kind of back bending, allowing the front ribs to draw out. Excuse me, more of a side body stretch. Keep the lunge into your knee. And then slowly come out of it. Release your arms. Jesus. Go ahead and straight through the left leg. Set up for Trikonasana triangle. Reach through the left palm. Rest your left hand to your shin, to the ground, to book. And instead of reaching the right palm all the way up, reach it forward. So the right hip will have to tilt down a bit, which is totally fine. And then continue to reach and extend. Now take one more big breath. Continue to reach forward. And then rotate the torso down, hands flat to the mat. Step back. You have an optional and final vinyasa, or hips straight up and back, downward facing dog. Let's take a full inhale breath, fill it up. And smooth exhale breath, let it go. One more, please. Big inhale. And smooth exhale. Beautiful. Set your gaze forward towards the top. And then exhale, feet to meet your hands. Go ahead and recline all the way to your back. Come in towards Supta Baddha Konasana. So reclined bound angle, soles of feet to touch, knees out really, really wide. And just allow the hips to open up one more time. Feel gravity passively bring the knees a little closer towards the ground. And then we'll take a round of breath here together. Deep inhale, fill it up. And smooth exhale, let it go. All right, go ahead and release the left leg out long in front of you. Hug your right knee, your right shin towards your chest. Give that a tight, tight squeeze. Keep your left hand onto your right shin. Release your right arm out like a wing. And then use your left hand. Guide your right shin all the way across. So land onto the outer left hip. Right knee towards the left side of your mat. So supine twist one more time. If it's okay with your neck, you can gaze towards your right palm. And just start to continue to decelerate. Slow everything down as you feel the twist, the rinse through the spinal column. Take one more deep breath here. And then transition your way back towards center. And then final side, right leg releases. Draw your left shin, left knee towards your chest. Give that a squeeze. Keep your right hand on your left shin, left arm releases out. And then just go ahead and bring your left shin all the way across your body. Left knee towards the ground. Doesn't have to touch the ground. Then feel the spinal twist one more time. Once more, if it's okay with your neck, you can gaze towards your left palm. Then continue to tune into the breath as you allow the left shoulder to drop down a little closer towards the mat. One more big breath here. Really nice. Go ahead and make your way back towards center. And then this is called Ananda Balasana, Happy Baby. Draw both knees towards your armpits. You can grab for your shins behind your hamstrings and then stick your feet all the way up towards the ceiling. And then with your grip, just try to draw your knees a little closer towards the ground, and then you can rock it out from left, right, right, left. If you're a little more open, then the hands can be a little further up your legs. Yeah, so channel your happy baby. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen a baby do this, but one of my students says that his son does this when he's about to go to sleep, so I don't know, you tell me. Really nice. We'll take a round of lion's breath together, so stick your tongue out on the exhale. Take a big inhale breath, fill it up. And lion's breath, exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Hug both knees in towards your chest as you wrap your arms around your shins. Squeeze all the muscles in your face. Then draw your forehead to your knees. Make yourself into a tight, tight, tight little ball. And then on your exhale, undo all of that. Final posture, Shavasana, corpse pose, arms out, legs out, everything really heavy. I personally prefer seated meditation, so if that's something that you would like to do, feel free to join me. Otherwise, as you allow yourself to be really, really heavy, just feel the entire back body that's in contact with the mat sink into the ground, past the ground. Just take these next few moments just to be still, to allow yourself the time, the space to rest. It might not sound like I'm here, but I am here. I'll guide you out when it's time, so please enjoy these final few moments. If you find that it's hard for you to be still, just focus on your breath and how the belly rises and falls with each in-breath, each exhale breath. When it's time, I will be sure to guide you out, so please enjoy.
slowly you just start to notice the entire back body. No sense of urgency here. Your body's telling you to stay resting. By all means, stay resting for as long as you'd like. But otherwise, draw some breath into your body with this deep anchoring inhale through the nose. Deep anchoring exhale your mouth. Just take a few moments, rock your head from left, right, right, left a few times. Give your fingers, your toes a wiggle, a shake. And as you feel ready, arms extend all the way up and overhead. And then make your way onto your favorite side supported fetal posture. Utilize your bicep as a pillow. And just take a moment before rising up. Just once more, find gratitude for your health, your body, the ability to move, to practice. Acknowledge the effort that it took to just take time out of your day to be here in your body. With your opposite palm, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Allow the gaze to be soft, or eyes to be closed, hands towards heart center. Thank you all for sharing your practice, your energy, your breath, your presence from afar. Allowing me the honor to guide practice this evening. Drawing thumbs at third eye center, we lift your chin just a little higher. It's here where we acknowledge your mutual love and respect for each other, for this practice, for this community. We thumbs to the lips where we seal in the breath, and this also acts as a reminder for us to speak words of compassion not only to our others, but to ourselves. And then finally, thumbs back to the heart where we feel our heartbeat. This reminds us that our hearts beat the same, our blood courses the same. At the end of the day, we are one and the same. It's also from this place that we bow forward to each other with love, with gratitude. So to each of you, I bow very, very humbly to Namaste.